All right, what is up? Welcome to Spoiler Kings. We're here to talk about it. Welcome to Derry. We got that first episode that dropped over the weekend, and it was a doozy. So we're gonna talk about that. So if you haven't watched it yet, go watch it. Come back, check us out. Or you can watch it like how Brian's doing it. A little.
That's how I watch all of it. Like, especially after the first 10 minutes, I was like,
Head's buried in the pillow at that point because that was intense.
I'm traumatized.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about episode 1 before episode 2 drops on Halloween. So make sure you guys are ready for that if you're enjoying the show. It's not gonna be a Sunday one, it's gonna be a Friday. But yeah, we're gonna get into this episode 1, the first episode. Brandman, what you think about it?
Okay, so with horror, I think that there's two guidelines that you must follow. One, right out of the woodwork, you need to establish the rules, and two, you need to you also need to establish the atmosphere, which I think this does really, really good within the first 5 minutes. One of the rules, as it is in most Stephen King stories, or in this case, I know Stephen King didn't have too much to do with this. It was more Andy Muschietti and I think Gary Doberman, if I'm not mistaken. But they established right out of the woodwork that no one in this story is safe. And they have kind of like that really kind of surrealistic, kind of atmospheric feel to it. Kind of like the It Chapter 1 did. It kind of gave me those vibes too. But I thought it really did good with establishing the tone and establishing those two rules right out of the woodwork. I thought it was very well shot. I really, really liked the cinematography. Like I liked how, despite this, despite the very dark nature of the content, I love how vibrant it was, like cinematography wise, and just the look of it. It's almost like exaggerated, you know. I thought the kid actors did really good. You know, they're kind of the focal point of this, and just kind of tension throughout. And despite taking place, being a prequel to It Chapter 1 to It Chapter 2, it feels it doesn't feel obligated to be connected to them. It very much feels like its own story. And it had me curious to see where they go next, because really this show, when I first heard about it, it had me on the fence. I was very much like, do we really need it? But it definitely pulled me in. By the time it ended, I was like, okay, I need to see what happens next. And by the way, that ending, holy crap.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'm curious to see how all the stories from the kids and the adult characters, I think it was Leroy Hanlon, who's obviously going to be Mike Hanlon's father, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Just where they go with it.
Or I think it's his uncle. Oh, excuse me, his uncle, maybe.
Or I think you might be right. It might be his uncle.
Yeah, but I know they're related though for sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's what I really enjoyed about it.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Brian?
Literally, I'm gonna say this: that first 7 minutes, 8 minutes, I don't need to ever see it ever again. Ever again. Why? Oh my God, the birth. Oh my God. I was looking at my wife and she looked at me and she turned and she pointed at me right out in my chest and she said, "You'll never get to choose the shows we watch ever again. You never get to." It was traumatizing for me. Like, if anyone who's had kids, that was the worst thing I've ever seen. Oh my God. So it was awful in so many ways. And then the kid dying so early, really, as Brandman said, tells you exactly what you're going to get from this show. Nobody's safe. All kids will die. Children of the corn type feeling. It was awful. It had me questioning. First of all, one, I'm never going to Maine. I'm never going. It's too far up. I'm not going to Maine. And then my second question was, why the hell are all these people living in this damn town? So I don't understand what was the reasoning behind this. It was interesting to see the way that the kids interact. It's also was seeing the racial aspect of it, So seeing how the father being in the army or Air Force, sorry, how there was a lot of disrespect for him, but it's like they had his back. And I was wondering what's going on exactly. I feel like it's another part of that story that we're going to start seeing. But also in the town and seeing that we're going to have, the little girl in the theater, and how that respect was there in the town for her father. And we're going to chase these kids out and all that stuff because you need it. Like it was interesting, that dynamic going against everything else that was going on. And then what's going to happen to this theater after this massacre of kids, all happening. So like it kept on killing people, but it also created relationships. You understood the two boys, you understood what was going on with them. You understand the girls, you understand why they have a relationship and how they're going to be pulled together. I think they did a really good job of doing those things. And if you set the tone, give you some crazy things and set the relationships, I think you've done your job. So the episode 1 did exactly what it's supposed to do. Is it my favorite thing? Nope. But is it something that I can respect? 100%.
Yeah. It definitely like pushes. I don't know. It pushes like what I think what everyone expected. Like right off the bat was this like, holy crap! Like there has not been one person that was like, yeah, it was a whatever. It was like, no, everyone's like, never again. Like that was horrible. That like it was so gruesome. And yeah, man. I mean, that was definitely like how to set a tone for a show based in this like It universe. So that was intense. But kind of what both of you guys are saying with how the tone is set early on, and it right off the bat tells you like, oh, here, this might be our main kid. Nope. And that gets taken away pretty early.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll go ahead. I'm going to add to that later.
Okay, all right. And I don't know if this is what you might be thinking then, but one thing I liked by the end of the episode, because the whole time I'm like, oh, okay, we're setting up the gang. This is going to be the gang we're following. There's going to be the group of kids we're going to be following for all of season 1, and by the end of the episode, you're just like,
gotcha.
Yep, gotcha, big gotcha. You're just like, nope.
You're
like,
all
you 2 girls. That's it. Yeah.
They were propping those kids up to be the focal point, to be the losers club of this of this season, and then we're like, nope.
Yeah.
You know what they told us? They yelled at us and said, "This is not Stranger Things. This is not a group project. You're not getting group credit. This is not happening. Everybody can die.
This is not the Goonies. This is not the Monster Squad."
Yeah.
Now that's how you do a bait and switch. That was a good bait and switch.
In such a good way.
Yeah, we were following them pretty much the entire episode too. We learn more about we learn like a decent amount about them individually. You just assume that, and I think that's because we're so familiar with the original It and how that went. And just because we're used to, kind of like characters similar to this in Stephen King adaptations. So, yeah,
well, I mean, they're getting us, because even look at the picture right now. What Tank has right here. Look at the balloon. You see the reflection of the kids. How many kids do you see there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. 3 of them are dead.
Yeah.
In the pilot, 3 of them are dead. So like, it's not like that's messed up. I mean, they kind of told us, oh yeah, you're gonna have these kids are gonna be going through some stuff, and they went through some stuff, including the claw.
The claw. Yeah. But I mean, I think they're still gonna be in the show. but they're obviously not the losers club, like Brandon said. They're not that. They're going to be there being the, sticking their fingers through the drain tile, and being the creepy kids in the doing the creepy work for it, the clown. So yeah, but that was a good like bait and switch, because the whole time I'm like, oh man, like that kid, their relationship with the other kid and the girl and this and that. I'm like, all right, this is all turning into the end was just like, nope, we're getting rid of all of that. But man, there's just so many freaky things happening. Like the one where it was a Jewish boy, so his dad tells him about like stuff that happened in the Holocaust, right? And then he got pretty graphic about it. But then it turns like real. Like you see it on screen with the lampshade, and the whole time I'm like, that is wild. I did not expect that, and yeah, it's intense. And this is just the first episode.
Is it too much?
It
That's
pushes
my question.
It walks that line. Yeah.
What about you, Brandon? Was it ever a time when you're watching this first episode when you thought this might be too much?
I think you can't. I think too much is pretty synonymous with Stephen King, especially when it comes to the violence factor. I used to think that, and I used to ask myself the same thing. If I'm being honest, like, this dude be going too far sometimes. But I think that when the original when chapter 1 was established, I think if there's one thing that they did kind of establish, it's that this story's going to go way over the top, and it's going to kind of push the envelope. Especially when we're talking about kid violence. That's a delicate topic. That's a really delicate topic. Who likes to see kids die, and who likes to see dogs die, right? Or animals.
Stephen King.
So, but I think the fact, yeah,
the cemetery.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
And I don't even think he had. I don't even think he had too much creative input in this. I think, but we're kind of operating off a working of his. So to answer the question, just knowing the Stephen King universe, I don't think I could say it's going too far or it's too much, because I kind of expected that.
Yeah.
I just didn't expect that to happen at the end.
Yeah. I mean, this whole episode was like a lot, but like Brandon said, like, yeah, it's Stephen King. So you expect, especially in this universe, you expect like a lot of crazy stuff. It was just, I just didn't expect that much crazy stuff in the first episode, so that's why I'm like, are we going to get even crazier? Are we going to get even wilder than that? So, and we haven't even got it yet. We haven't even got the clown.
Pennywise has not been around yet.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Sorry, I was drawing a blank on his name, but yeah, Pennywise. Like, so wait, once we get Pennywise, that's game over then.
And they're saying he might not even show up in his physical form until later. Which would be interesting.
But he's for sure going to be in it. I know they got Bill Skarsgård to come back, and he wanted to do it, so he plays the character really good. I think at one point, I forgot what character, but then one of the characters were saying something, and then like their eyes did the whole Pennywise like weird thing that I didn't want to go back and look at it, but I'm like, oh, did it do it? Well, one thing for me though was not directly to the show, but the Easter eggs that Andy Muschietti put in for the DC stuff was cool, because especially like it's his, because like, so one of the comics, the little boy's reading The Flash. Obviously, Andy Muschietti directed the last Flash movie, for better or for worse. He's also directing the next Batman movie. And the other comic book that was shown was Batman versus Clayface. We're also getting a Clayface movie, so I thought that was a very cool little nod to his other works that he's doing. So
Agreed.
it was fun.
Agreed. And then doing it on this show gets you worldwide appeal, and people are going to see it. And people are going to pick up on it. That's why it's nice to have these Easter eggs in there. I'm still honestly, guys, I am about 3 steps away from never watching it again. So we'll see how Halloween,
which is understandable.
Do you give me anything close to how what I just saw for the first episode, the first 8 minutes? Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah. And hopefully they stay away from birth.
No, it's understandable.
Yeah. But I think it was a good first episode. Overall, I think it was a good first episode. It really pulls you back into this universe, and it pulls you in where you're like, I kind of want to know now, what's going on with the kids, what's going on with Pennywise, like what's going on with this curse, like we just got into it, and there's already like a bunch of kids that are dead in the first episode. So,
and what's going to be the excuse for the town?
Yeah.
What's Derry going to say about all these kids dying? And now we have other characters that we've gotten introduced to, but really don't know who they are. As you said, Leroy Hanlon. We don't really know who he is. We don't know what the story is going to be. So how is it going to affect them? Knowing that, I think the shift is going to be from the kids to that family and identifying that specific family and how he connects with the rest of these kids. So that's going to be really interesting, the way that shift is going to be.
Agreed.
Yeah. And I wonder if they're going to explore this, which they easily could do, especially since they're saying they want to do more than one season. And even though it's been a while since I read the original It novel, but they all, if memory serves me correctly, they always kind of hint that that the entity that Pennywise had some kind of it was like a psychic hold over the town or something to that effect, to where they were more or less kind of turning a willful blind eye to what to everything that was happening, especially in the case of the kids. If memory serves me correctly, I may be wording it wrong, but I kind of remember something like that, and they definitely implied it in pretty much most of the adaptations of it.
Yeah. So I mean, it definitely could be how the family, that we were introduced to, maybe they start finding, because they're already kind of like about it, So
well, what? I'm gonna blame Charlotte, the mom. Look, you wanted us to be in this town, and now look what happens. Should have stayed on base.
It should stay on base. Exactly. Unless you guys got anything else, all right. I think that's about it.
It's going to be an interesting ride. Let's see if I can stay on this trolley. We'll see.
See if we can stay on. Well, yeah. But cool. We'll finish that off here with episode 1 of Welcome to Derry. Yeah, man, that was a wild episode. So if you like the franchise, you'll definitely like this episode. If you watch the episode, leave a comment. Let us know what you guys thought about it. Did you like it? Did you hate it? There's some scenes in there, something we might have missed or skipped over a little bit. Let us know what you guys think about this episode so far, and if you're gonna keep watching episode 2, 3, and so on. So leave a comment, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button right down here. We appreciate everyone coming in and hanging out with us and talking about it. Welcome to Derry. We will see you guys in the next episode. Later.